much of that energy. I first and foremost want to thank our Mid-East Council for the opportunity to be here on stage today. Thank you so much. Shout out to our Flushing team, for the environment to grow and develop. Thank you so much to our leaders there. And last but not least, our Young Entrepreneurs team for the opportunity to represent you guys here on stage today. Thank you so much.
你看这个比刚才所用的那个讲的事项哈，是他
Some titles, I guess accolades, right? But what am I all about? I'm all about my family, right? We were raised, these are our 7 cousins here together. My siblings are here as well. Our family's from Dominican Republic, and yeah, so that's the Dominicans in here, right? Dímelo, que lo que? Right?
要不他们
And,
这么说的这么快，
in
亲戚
here
多
it's
啊。
called primo hermanos, right? That means like cousin siblings. Doesn't really make sense in English, but over there it does. We were raised together to always take care of one another.
那起码得有一个吧。
Just lead by example. I'm the second oldest in this group here, and in our household I'm the oldest, right? So had a lot of responsibilities at a young age to always watch out for my siblings, and especially as our parents worked and all that, right? So they raised us to be really close, tight knit, right? So here are my parents, right? My mom on the left, that's the 3 of us in the household, and then my father on the right with all 6 of his kids, right? So I've learned a lot from them throughout the years, and they came here from the Dominican Republic, the American dream, in search of a better opportunity for us, right, before we were born, right? I remember mom telling me a story that when she graduated at school over there, she started her first job, and she realized that pay was too low, not enough for what she was looking for, so she had to leave her country. And I just think about that all the time, like that decision to leave, make that sacrifice to go somewhere where you don't speak the language, you have no idea what it's like, and it's not even just for yourself, it's for your future and your children that aren't here yet, right? So, learned a lot from my mom, man, and she always says, always keep your faith. Have pride in what you do, but remain humble, no matter what, right? We come from humble beginnings. Both my parents are from, Lo Campo, right? If you're Dominican, you understand it, or anyway, right? But it's the farmlands, right? Farmer background, our whole, generation before. And, she always says fight back. As a child, she'd always tell me, if you got into, anybody picked on you in school and you didn't do anything about it, don't come home. And I was like, well, I'm afraid of you, so I'm gonna make sure I fight back over there. And I think what she did was prepare me for life. Like whenever anything happens, you gotta stand up and fight back. And Dios quiera means God forbid, but when they say it in Spanish, it's usually not a good thing, right? So, she's very passionate, and I get that from her. Built the same way, I get that type of energy from my mother. Very much alike. My father, what he taught us outside of having multiple kids, or have a lot of kids and a receding hairline, is that, don't take things personal. Total opposite from my mom, right? Super calm and collected, always talking about being patient and being a man. And for him, being a man meant lead by example. Be the protector for the family always, no matter what. And his favorite thing was don't F around. Fool around, however you want to fill in the F, right? But whenever he would say that, I knew it was go time, right? And, they worked crazy hours. They worked multiple jobs when we were growing up, so we didn't really get to spend too much time with them. And as a child, I thought that was normal. I thought everybody's parents worked multiple jobs. I was like, okay, I guess that's just the way of life. And I remember it wasn't until I got into sports that I started to realize that it's not so normal. Right? I started seeing my friends, their uncles and aunts and cousins are at the games, and I'm like, aren't they working? Like, don't they have 2-3 jobs? And I was like, all right, I guess it's not. And, going through life, you're like, okay, and I was exposed at a young age to, wealth, right? One of my friend's uncles or something like that. And I thought to myself, I was like, there's more to life than just a 9-to-5. There's more to life than just multiple jobs and having a struggle, right? And I was like, I'm going to be the one for my family to do so, right? And I remember my parents started going through their issues towards my later years in high school, and going into college, 2011, I was understanding that, you know what, they're probably not gonna last, and it's gonna fall on me to be that leader in the household. And I remember thinking, I gotta stand up for my mom the most, right? And so my father for me was my closest parent. So for me, it was like a little bit of a problem, right? When he was leaving, I was like, I don't know what to do next, right? And, we just had to stay with the faith and continue to work hard and be that person for your siblings. I had to hold down the household, right? And in 2011, when I graduated college, I learned that debt comes with college after you're done, right? 6 figures in debt, to be exact. And I remember thinking, I gotta find another way to make additional income. And I was working at the hospital, right? And this my transport days. I actually was like, I broke out in like a Highlands picture. And I just remember this is the first time I tried a product, because Chevy ran in. He used to be my dispatcher, and he ran in with like bottles, enzymes, and OPC3 now, I know, right? And I was like, okay, I took it, helped me out, whatever. But this is when I met the man that changed my life, right? There's Brian McKnight at the light, we see him, Chevy, thank you so much, I love you, man. You changed my life forever. And, he happened to be showing the plan to one of our coworkers. And I walked in at the right time, he's speaking pretty loud, and I heard 100%. What Chevy didn't know was that I hadn't experience in multi-level marketing. I was done with the industry, I was like tricked, I found out like the right way that everything operates there. I was like, I'm done with that, right? And I heard 100%, I looked over his shoulder, and I saw the binomial team, right? And I was like, I was talking about this at that other company, and they said that you shouldn't do that. And I was like, what is this, man? Are there breakaways? He's like, what's breakaways? I was like, okay, maybe not. What are the levels? There are no levels. I was like, what's the percentage? Still 100%. I was like, I'm in. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm in. He was showing it to one of my coworkers. I understood that if I got started, he'd get my team. And I was like, I'm ready to get started. And he was like, no, man, you got to get to an event. You got to come learn. So we go to Flushing, and we walk into the HVP, and there's a whole bunch of Asians. And I was like, we're in the wrong room. And he's like, no, this is the right room. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I walk in, and the rest is history. Met Olivia Benson later on, and Wayne, and, changed my life forever. But I got to my first event with the Northeast Regional, which is the top left photo there. Hanging out with Mo, got to meet Mo, and she's like my big teddy bear. We live together now, right? And, I just started becoming exposed to so much information, so grateful for the environment. Then I got to a World Conference in 2012. Then I got to Northeast Regional again in 2012, which is the top right photo with my brother there. And then I got down to 2013 World Conference, and then that was my last event for the next 3.5 years, right? And I was like, I have to be better. I was like just trying to focus on stuff, right? The thing was I was going through a lot, trying to figure out what I need to do for my family and how to lead. And what happened was, these guys never stopped following up on me. I was a stable and waiting. These guys never stopped. And because of that, that was always in the back of my mind that this business is there for me to grow whenever I'm ready. I believe in the business, but I don't believe in myself. And I think that's something that we learned this whole weekend. That's very, very important. We have to believe in ourselves. And these guys are patient. They followed up. They gave me the opportunity to be great. And 2016 happened. My mom got a little sick. She was my wife. So the reason I started was because I wanted to retire early. And when she told me she was thinking about getting another job in 2016, I was like, no way. You're not going backwards again. Right? There's absolutely no way. And so I was like, you know what? I called Chevy. I was like, hey, man, I'm coming back. And he was at a Philadelphia, like, pouring Basic 5. And he was like, awesome. Olivia's Locals next. I was like, great. Let's go. And we get there, and I had listened to Inky Johnson right before that. Right? Inky Johnson, I don't know who he is. Really learned from him. He's a great motivational speaker. And I literally just thought it over, pondered on the thought, and I was like, I got to get back to this business. And we got to the next event, and they said, get to Icon. And I get to International Convention in 2016, and I see that Olympic gets recognized as Certified Trainer of the Year. And I was like, wow, this team is crushing, they're growing. They've been doing everything, they've done everything they said they were gonna do years ago. They made it happen 3.5 years later. So we just started to grow and build, and I'm so grateful for these leaders here because they gave us the opportunity. Got to meet JR for the first time at a Moving Up seminar. So grateful for that because, you know, I was just blown away by who he is, but this is our team growing through the years with COVID, before COVID, I mean, and when COVID happened, we started to break up. And yeah, no, I see, I'm covering that for a man, right? But this is the event that changed my life forever, right? Was getting to Reese, and we just kept growing, right? And you're one decision away from your destiny. Understand that there's a lot of power behind what we're doing here today. You can change everything for the next 3 to 6 months by committing to International Convention. So get your tickets to that event and make sure that you make it happen and do it for your future. You will be so grateful, trust me. And thank you.
Give it up, Jonathan Rodriguez. Jonathan, great job. Thank you, sir. And you know, Don was talking about what would be some of the best use of time to maybe help a distributor, a specific distributor room that has a question, concern, something that they're trying to work through. So what we decided to do was just get a panel together of some experienced distributors, business partners, and answer some objections that maybe you're finding when you're out in the field. So what we're looking for is not, you know, I have a boil on my back, can Dr. D look at it? We're not looking for that, right? What we're looking for is, hey, I'm talking to my aunt, I'm talking to my uncle, I'm talking to a coworker. So I'm going to ask, here we go, Charlie, Roy, Vance, Roseanne, and Gina. Give them a round of applause. Got the chair where you want it? You good? Okay. Yeah. Very good. So we have some microphones out in the audience. So if you have a question about an objection perhaps you're getting when you're out in the field, if you'd raise your hand, we'll get a microphone over to you. Chris right here has one. Chris, by the way, phenomenal job, yes. They really appreciate you sharing. His question is going to be, is 220 over 200 blood pressure normal? No, sir. I'm not a doctor, but no, sir.
So I run into a lot of, I'm not a salesperson. I don't like to sell.
Let's recap that for a second in case you didn't hear it. Has anyone ever gotten the objection, I'm not a salesperson, I don't want to sell. I'm gonna tell you how many, this is what I say. Are you married? Yes, then you're in sales, okay? You convince somebody out of the 6 billion people on the planet that they should pick you, you're in sales. But let's get our panel's contribution.
Yeah, I get that quite often as well. And usually my response is, I don't like to sell either, because I don't. But the reality is that even though we don't like to sell, people love to buy. We just don't like to be sold, right? So I just try to explain to them about the referral process. You know, like when you see a good movie, do you not tell everybody about it? Wouldn't you like to be compensated for your referral to go see that movie? It's the same concept here, and as a product broker, we have everything available to us. So we can refer people to our own website or, you know, what we have available, and it's all, you're just helping people find solutions. You know, we're a solutions-based company. That's what we're doing. We're not selling. People are buying every day. The things that we have available, people buy every single day. So why not offer a better product at a better price and help somebody find a solution?
Did you hear that? Solution-based company. I love that. Nice little nugget. Roseanne, anyone else? Vance, Roy, Charlie, you want to answer, jump in or no? Charlie's up.
All right, I'll say. Honestly, do you like to sell? And they say no, then you're gonna love this, right?
Yeah.
Do you like to sell? Yes, then you're gonna love this. You know, that's how simple it is. You know, I'm looking for people that, like you're a people person, do we sell? Yes, we sell. But would it be okay if they came to you and say, can I buy? That's as simple as it is. You don't have to run around trying to find customers. You don't have to go door to door. They come to you most of the time.
So I get people that ask me that now and then, and I go, look, the last thing I ever thought I would do is sell things. But I had such great experience with the products, I decided other people had to see these too. And my last question to that is, if you had a good experience, would you help people?
Yeah, that's perfect. Hey, one of the things I learned early on in my sales career, I learned just throwing back in financial services from the great Bob Safford, is to use feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way until I found out, right? And I use that everywhere. You know, I know how you feel. I felt the same way until I found out that it wasn't sales. So that was, we were solutions oriented, whatever the case may be. Another objection, hand up somewhere. We got one? Good. Didn't you already use enough time? Oh, you don't want to speak. All right, thank you, Nick.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's my bad. I'm not good at math.
What's going on, Jim? Nick Friday's 20 here. Real good objection that I've had before was, hey, I like the plan, but I don't know if this is going to be a conflict of interest with my employer.
Anyone? Charlie's got it, man. Don't worry.
So the first question would really be is, what do they do?
Right.
Right? So a conflict of interest, if they're in the financial service field, may because they sometimes live in them. But there is normally not a conflict. And how often does your employer take care of you now? Right? And guys, do not be afraid to ask the question, and I'll take this a whole lot further at this point. Right? Because what do you do? They'll answer me. I guess you plan on retiring there. And that's usually a no. What's your escape plan? And they usually don't have an answer for that. So it's just a matter of question after question, so they can't ask you another one.
Yeah, I think sometimes, people, thank you, Charlie, they have those concerns, and we don't want to blow them off, but the reality is, like Charlie said, is this your density? Is this what you're going to do for the rest of your life? If not, then I suggest we do this and build it as quick as possible so that when they do find out and fire, you're already at least a supervisor coordinator. What else? What we got? Hand up somewhere? Another objection in the back up there?
A common objection that I get a lot is not having the time, busy schedule, family, kids, school, work.
Yeah, I love this objection. Go ahead, man.
I get a lot of that. People say, well, I'm busy. And I just tell them, really you have to make time. You make time for what you want. And sometimes when you get people that feel as though, if they stay busy, but they really don't, achieve anything because they think that just because they're moving is, it's just to show that they're doing something that they're actually not. But you have to meet them where they are and get them to understand the importance of what they want to do and the results that they want to achieve in their lives. So that's basically taps them into, really assessing and understanding the accountability of what they want to do. And you'll find that they'll get into, especially something like this company facility.
Go ahead, Ward.
Well, I could use that feel, felt, found. Yeah, I know how you feel. I felt the same way because I was working 10 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you don't have time, that's fine, but we work together. Everything we do helps someone else. If you don't have time, you're working a lot, is that what you're saying? If you won $1 million from the lottery, but you had to take 3 days off, would you take 3 days off to go get that money? The answer is always yes. So see, we gotta listen to what their why is, the reason why they need this, and use that.
Yeah, their why is a big thing. I'll make this as brief as I can. I had a gentleman in our organization once said, I don't have any time. I got to go to I got 2 daughters play competitive softball. I go to every single one of their games. They were sitting right there. I said, if daddy stopped coming to your games and made extra money enough to take you to Disney World, would that be okay? They were like, oh yeah, we don't need them. We don't like them here anyway. Right? So you can either use your family as an excuse, or you can use it as a reason. I think you'd rather use it as a reason. Roseanne?
So I'd like to break it down to them and say, you know, even if you have a job, do have a half-hour lunch break. Because you can eat quick, I eat very fast, right? Take 10 minutes and just make a couple of reach out, make a couple of calls, go onto your marketing app and send out a couple of, reach outs to the people who are inactive on your marketing app. You can always fit 5 or 10 minutes in to do that.
Yeah, so if it's a priority, the things that are priorities you make happen, right? So we just have to figure out where it is on your priority list and try to get it a little higher if we show you the results of that. Okay, another one. Nick, you got somebody over there?
Yep, we got one here.
Yeah, I was about where they're always saying, was it one of those things, and or how much you make?
Yeah, that's a great question. How much do you make? Now look, how much do you make? Right, so I would say this, if you've been in the business a while and somebody asks you how much money you make, I think the great answer is, well, I partnered with the business because I love the products. I wanted to purchase them at wholesale, not retail. And recently I've started to focus on building a network of people who want to share that same message. So it hasn't been about income for me first, it's been about saving money on retail, wholesale versus retail. I'd be happy to show you how to sign a wholesale account, but go ahead.
There's two things that can happen if I answer this question. One is, you're not going to believe it because it's not enough money. And the other is, you're not going to believe it because it's too much money. The company's goal is to get you to make $300 to $3,600 a week over the next 2 to 3 years. Would that help you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right, it's perfect. The other thing, of course, is, it doesn't really matter how much money I make. It's more important about how much money we can make together. And I'm looking for people that want to have that kind of partnership, that kind of fellowship, and work together so we can both achieve our goals. So we can talk about that, forming a partnership in that sense. But it doesn't matter how much I make. I'm not giving you any, right?
And you have to understand, you can use that. It's not legal to explain that because that's considered luring.
Right, and that's a man that makes 25 to 30, right? $1,000 in a 4-week pay period. So if someone said, well, how much money do you make? And he said, well, I know, somewhere around $8,000 a week. Yeah, right. See, I told you, right? What else we got? Another one? Over here, Jack.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't really have a
stand.
All right.
This looks like a pyramid scheme to not so much myself, but my husband who's not present. And this is my first time here, so that's my question.
If you bring him next year, we'll kick his ass. Right, Nick?
My husband is an immigrant, and he stays home. So he's retired, but yeah, he's in his home.
We get it. It's a fair question. This is like a pyramid. This is a pyramid. This is a pretty standard one. Let's get Roseanne, want to jump in here? Charlie's up.
What is a pyramid? I want to hear what it is. And lots of times you get, it's all these people getting other people. I said, do they do that at work?
Listen, here's the short answer. Pyramids are illegal. This company's been around for 33 years. It's AA rated from the Better Business Bureau, 2-time Fortune Award winner. Obviously, we didn't slip under the radar, right? But
that's the best thing.
Yeah. I mean, I laugh. I go, it's comical, but yeah, no. I also tell them, what if it is and you make a ton of money with that bond? Gina?
Yeah, I say the same thing, that pyramids are illegal, and this company has made over $11 billion, right? So the government watches very closely to companies that are making that kind of money. And if we were doing anything that was illegal, we would have been shut down a long time ago. And also the Better Business Bureau doesn't rate companies with an A+ rating and give torch awards for marketplace ethics and integrity to companies that are doing things wrong. So
Yeah, they just tried a guy for $130,000. They're not going to let us get away with $11 billion. All right, next one. Where you at?
Right here.
Yes, I get a lot of questions when people said that they have lost, in our community, they have lost a lot of money in those investments. So is this different? So they want to know, they don't want to lose their money. Specifically, some people that see the plan and they asking about their ownership. They don't want, they say, why we have to have that? That's the, I want to, white answer to tell them exactly what they need to do.
You're not required to be an ownership, but go ahead.
For auto ship?
Well, she's saying people have said, I've lost money, right? So I would say principally, we're not asking you for any upfront money, right? I mean, it's $149.95 at this point. You don't have to immediately qualify. You don't have to go on ownership. There are reasons you should, right? And we can show you how to build, I would show them how to build a retail base that would take care of that so that it never comes out of their pocket. But I'm not on the panel.
Well, first and foremost, if somebody is hesitant about investing in starting their business, a trial run is always a good place to start, because you want to show them that they're going to make money before they're even make a financial commitment. So that's one way. Also, if they're questioning the auto ship and why they have to do that, they don't actually, unless they want to participate in the commission part of the company. In order for the company to be able to legally pay out commissions, you have to show business intent. So that's what the auto ship is for, to show that you have business intent. It's a legality. It's it's to protect us so that we don't lose our businesses.
And I would go back to feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way until I found out there wasn't an upfront cost. There wasn't an investment. There really wasn't any money I could lose. I might be able to lose a little bit of time, but I was willing to wager that.
Just to expound on that, it's you have to invest in yourself. If you look at the products and you use the products, you use them to for your benefit. So if you meet that person where they are, and you give them a solution to that, basically they won't feel as though that they're losing anything, because when they get into the business, just like I did, because of the product, I will never. I mean, to me, it's a lifetime. I will always be on these products. So it's changed my life. So as an example, and I'm not selling, I'm sharing. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
So the question was about auto ship.
Well, the question was about losing money.
Losing money on auto ship. And I talk about, I draw it out for them, and I say, would it be okay if you have 25 or 50 people on both sides? And if they're all doing 50 BV a month? See, you got to get them to understand you want everyone doing, you're using the products or you're selling the products. It's a good thing, so you shouldn't be losing money at all. Nowhere. We're not looking for investors, so it's not an investment. It's your investment. You're investing in your time to help other people. So I draw all that out for everyone, every single time I show it to them.
And I love these answers, right? Because they're all something that has to fit your personality, what you're comfortable with. I go down the road to the same thing. I want to transfer your buying habits. So let's see what we have that fits with you. But before you spend a single dollar, let's do a trial run. Because I'm not sure you're going to be comfortable with us, or we're going to be comfortable with you.
And you do a trial run with somebody, they leave you with 3 customers, they don't want to do it, those are 3 customers for you. I'd be happy, who wants to make the money, me or you? All right, we got time for one more. Right down here, Nick, wherever you pick it, you make enemies, not me.
Or wait, does Jack have?
All right, pick one, now we got time for half of one.
Sorry.
This guy's big on wasting time.
As far as getting customers, we know we have wonderful products. We use them every day. But we run into, oh, you're going to make the money off of me? Wait a minute. And they'd rather go buy it from a store instead of buying it from somebody that they know and possibly trust. So how do you overcome that?
It's a good question. We got to make our answers brief. But If they trust you that much, that shouldn't be an issue, right? But I understand, we're gonna answer, go ahead.
I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, some people just don't, I mean, they just don't, you have to move on to someone.
It might be a nice situation.
Accepting the understanding of what they buy and what is to them, because they have no problem going to Walmart or,
Right.
you know, so it's pretty much.
Right?
Getting customers is real simple. If I show it to someone and they say no, they're gonna be a customer. What do we got, the shopping list? Now we can get this product for you. Right? That's as easy as it is.
We can also show you how to sign up for a wholesale account. You have to do that.
Family and friends are difficult. So use your senior partner and let them have them buy it through your site and get the referrals. Once you're out of your warm market, then you move on.
Okay, so we're out of time, but I want to encourage you over the course of events, not just this weekend, but any event you go to, find people like this, find people who have experience and ask them these questions, right? That's your job, is to data mine as much as you can while you're here. How about a big round of applause for our panel guys? Thank you so much. Phenomenal job. Look at that, they clean up after themselves. Phenomenal. And listen, seriously, there's always going to be objections, and sometimes the objections are just to put you off. And so I like to qualify that. If someone says to me, well, answer this, I'll say, okay, what other objections other than that do you have? Because some people just keep coming up with objections until they tucker you out and you leave, right? So if I answer that, would you be willing to take the next step, Ed, and make a move forward? Right? Let's understand that. Listen, people come up to Charlie Bear, they'll come up to people who have experience in the business, the GGs of the world, and say, how come you're able to answer this so easily, so smoothly? Well, they've been doing it an awful long time. You're not supposed to get all of it right when you're brand new. That's why we encourage you to partner with someone like a Shannon Goodberry and Nancy Rothbach so that you can learn some of the, we all did it. There's no shame in getting the answer wrong once. It's a shame if you get it wrong the second time, because that means you didn't find out the answer to that. Okay, so this is my last opportunity to address you this weekend. I want to thank you so much for all your patience with me. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you have too. Thank you. Take care. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate it. So, it's an honor to be your MC. I'm glad that I've been asked Shannon. I asked you to be the Northeast, and now I'm doing the Southeast. I have a lot of fun with that. I hope that helps you too. I got to tell you, I have so much respect for what Don and Lisa have been able to accomplish. You know, and we always pay homage to the long line of people that have been regional directors, right? Shannon would tell you if you spend any time with her, Beth and Pitt Black would tell you, anyone who served in those roles, especially when you're putting on an event of this size, realizing what a massive undertaking this is. It really is, quite frankly. It takes so many moving parts, so many volunteers. It's herding cats it's herding cats with ADD, okay? I mean, it's a whole nother level of trying to get things done. And so, I am grateful, I know you are. You get an opportunity to show that now by giving a huge welcome to a director and our regional director, Mr. Don Martin. Give it up!